What's good people? It's your boy CJ Randolph, and this is the Just a Messenger podcast. And we have a wonderful special guest today, future AP in the building. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, AP is assistant principal. So, who are you?
Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Cole-Gallow, future principal.
AP Gallo,
we speaking that into existence today.
Amen and amen. We gonna speak because the work's already been done.
It's been done.
I guess we're just gonna jump into it. So, I know this journey has been a journey.
Very long.
But I would have to say, we've known each other for a minute. And I'm just gonna jump out there and talk about your ability to teach and reach kids, especially with math, right?
Yes.
I've taught math before. I know there's some people are math people. I'm a math person, and then some people just aren't. But the way that you work with the kids, finding new invigorating things with math to help them learn, and your scores have proven that, right?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. And it's kind of funny because I have not been the best teacher always. That's been a journey as well. Shout out to Coach Stevens.
Yeah, that's a legend right there.
Yes.
That's a legend.
That's been my mentor, my best friend some days.
Yeah.
And he's really helped me through this journey, and I'm glad that I was able to find somebody that, just take you under their wing and teach you everything they know.
Yeah.
So I told him from the first day I met him, I was like, you like a dad to me. And he was like, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Right.
And then it's been like a father-daughter relationship ever since. So I really, shout out to him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And also, do not play basketball with that man. Because he plays football. Well, I like it because we come from that physical era. And, his old NFL days be popping out on the court. And he'd be looking at you like, what?
Yes.
It's basketball.
Very much so. I don't even know if that man sleeps some days.
Right. He be up working out at 4:30 in the morning.
In the morning. Yeah. And I just got off the phone with him at 2 o'clock talking about some bad stuff. So I'm like, when do you sleep?
Hey, those are the type of people, mentorships and people that I see not only in football. We have like a coaching tree. So this coach was coached by this coach, and then they go and be great coaches, right?
Right.
And I see Coach Stevenson definitely being that, and I see you being a part of his coaching tree.
Yes.
And which is great because now you're going to end up being, you are Coach Stevenson to some students, and eventually will definitely, or have been, a Coach Stevenson to some other teachers.
Definitely, I try. Everything he has taught me is what I want to give back to my community, to the people that I work with, because I do understand how it feels to not be able to grasp the concept or learn the skill. But the way he taught me, it was just so easy. It was like, oh, well, just do this. I'd be like, but how do I just do that? And then,
right.
So maybe about 5 years ago, when he first started mentoring me, he have his own tutoring center. Right. Shout out to AA Plus Tutorials.
AA+.
Make sure you go there.
Check it out.
But I used to go every Saturday. And so then I miss a Saturday. But those Saturdays I miss, I would have the worst week ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm coming to you. I will be at the center, and I will stay from the moment he opened to the moment he closed. And he'll just go through my lesson with me, and then he'll be like, oh, go help such and such over there, or go help this person. So then I'm going to help help his students, but I'm still watching what he doing from the side. I'm like, that's who I aspire to be.
Yeah. I think that's a great way for people to understand, and especially this younger generation, of like, hard work is hard.
Right.
And it is time consuming, but it's so worth it. Like, you have to put in effort
Yes.
to get the goals and the dreams that you want. And that's a prime example of you going into an environment, kind of getting thrown into it,
Right.
which is sometimes the best way to learn, right? But having someone that can guide you, having someone that can facilitate different things, and also what I really heard was trust. He trusted you.
Yes.
And trust is something that I feel like, it can be given off the top and taken away. That's kind of how I am. But really, in your experience or in that working together or whatnot, then you really get to see who that person is and who you are and where your heart is and what your dreams are.
Yes.
And then from there, you get to build and if you have the ability to help accomplish someone's dream, or accomplish their goal, then that's what you do. And I that's what I've been seeing you do also from the jump, even before you started going with Mr. Stevens.
Right. Part of having him as a good mentor, it is not just about school or it's not just about math. We also talk about family, like our families got to know each other. So like my daughters go to tutoring from him now, or if I needed anything, I know I have somebody that I can always reach out to and just to talk to about life sometimes, because he's much older than I am, but just to pick his head about experiences and just having that male figure, that's still with his wife. And oh my gosh, I be sitting back laughing some days. Cause Miss Jackie will call, he be like, Cole, I gotta go. Miss Jackie calling me, but it's just seeing that fire that he feels about his family and the passion that he have about his job and the effort and the work that he put into building the tutoring center. Right. I'm able to see all of those things. I'm like, man, I want to make income on the side. I want to do this. I want my family to be like that. So just looking at him as a well-rounded person. And just bringing those things that I see into my life is just been absolutely amazing. But even you said you saw it for me from the beginning. I'm a go-getter. I've always been a go-getter. Because a lot of people might not have taken him in like I did. Right. But that's part of my background of who I am. I'm the oldest of a bunch of kids. Oh, really? Okay. So I have a lot of young siblings. Like my youngest sibling is the same age as my oldest daughter. Oh wow. So 10. Well, he 11, she 10. Yeah. But so I don't have no choice but to grind. Right. And on my mom's side, I'm the third oldest woman. Okay. So it's my grandmother, it's my mother, and then it's me. Oh. Okay. So when I look at that, some days I'm like, I have a lot of people looking up to me, and I cannot feel like I gotta do this for my family. Right. So that go-getter mentality, was that something that you learned from your mother, your grandmother, or is that my mom, my dad, and my mom and my dad? My dad's a football coach. Yeah. So he coached all sorts of levels, college, got all sorts of rings. Yeah. So I've seen him mentor people, a bunch of boys. I've seen people make it to the NFL. I've seen people not make it to the NFL. Right. I've seen boys take from my dad. I've seen him give, his all to them. So I've had a lot of good examples on how I should be in a classroom and how I should mentor students. And a lot of times my students would look at me, Miss Cole, you need to talk to us. You need to be some kind of vocalist or some type. I'd be like, yeah, public speaker. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm like, yeah, that's something that I do want to do. Yeah. But I still got a little fear. Okay, right. Something that we talked about a little bit. Yes. And that's the thing, fear and courage, and when the timing is right. Yeah. When the timing is right and it's time for you to walk and take that faith step,
I believe, you'll be stepping in the name of love, and that is your love and passion for other people, your love and passion for yourself and for your family, because that peace that is given to you when you actually take those steps is something that it's hard to explain, y'all, just to be honest with you. That's why I'm trying to bring all these people here to kind of help explain their peace and their journey so that we can change the world one message at a time, right? So yeah. So now, looking at your presence and future and what you've been working on, and transitioning from the classroom and now being semi-head honcho, right?
I know. Just a little bit.
How has that affected your peace?
Whew. It's disrupted my peace.
Okay.
I'm almost like, why, Lord, why me? But I know I'm not supposed to question God.
Right.
I do know I'm walking in purpose.
Okay.
But it's been hard for me. It's been a journey for me. And I hope that because of all of the pressure and all of the things that I had to walk through, that I'm able to help other people get through this journey without having some of the obstacles that I've had.
Okay.
Because even when I was talking about the fear, I'll talk about it a little bit.
Okay, just a little.
I tell everybody I'm loud, I'm country, I talk fast. I really don't like to talk in front of a mic. Sometimes I lose my wording on what the things I need to say. And being a leader is like, especially those great leaders, Martin Luther King. Look at him get up there and he just talked,
Right.
It's flawless. But for me, it's not like that. And I'll be like, sometimes I'm scared to just get up and go in front of that mic to say the things that I need to say out of fear of me losing the words.
Right.
But I do know I have a message, and I know my message needs to be heard, and it's been like this since I was a little girl. So like when I say I'm walking in purpose, I've always known I wanted to be a leader.
Yeah.
This is not something that happened yesterday. When I was 5 years old, I went to Baker's Preparatory, well, it's called Ubora at the time, and my word was entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's been my word since then. I'm like, my mom had a conversation with me recently. She was like, you remember when you used to write your name and you used to put it in lights? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, that's still a passion for me.
Right.
And it was just funny that my mom remembered that. Like,
yeah.
I always just write my name and I put it in lights. It is, so I know whatever it is big. I'm like, Lord, when is it coming? When is it gonna happen? Why am I going through certain things? This person have, that person have. I'm happy for them, but I'm ready for mine.
And everybody wants you to get yours too.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just like, the reason I asked you about that because I know some inside information, right? But we haven't really dove into it. I know where your heart is. I know where my heart is, and even not just my heart, but my vision and what I see in you, what I see you can do in specific places, and you not having the opportunity necessarily to be there. And yeah, I may be a little biased. I'm gonna be 100% with y'all. I don't care. I'm gonna be biased because I know that any place that you're gonna be put is gonna be great, especially a place that you've already got the connections and you've already got relationships, especially with the kids. That's the number one thing is kids, right? When you're dealing with a school, it's the kids. At the bottom line, every focus and everything should be about how do we help these kids learn this.
Definitely.
How do we help these kids learn social skills? Because they definitely much need that again.
Yes.
How do we help them in lessons, right? My teaching philosophy is I'm going to help you learn critical thinking skills. I just happen to do it through the vein of science.
Correct.
And life also be happening. So we're going to learn about life too, right? Because life happens in the classroom where someone's upset about somebody else and they didn't broke up with this person and maybe they didn't get to eat when they left the house, or I've called out parents before.
Our babies be struggling.
They be struggling mentally and emotionally, and then in school also. And so, just always want to provide a safe haven for them. And I've always seen that in your classrooms and in the hallway and how you interact with the kids. And that's why I think this next level is in your purpose.
It's funny because sometimes I block out the social part of what their problems, because I tell them, when y'all walk in this classroom, all that stuff in the hallway, let that go. Like, we're not worried about nothing that happened in the hallway. I need your full undivided attention while you're in here. Lunch getting ready to come up. Don't pull that snack out.
Right.
I do understand you hungry.
Right.
I get it. But I need your focus right now. And if you just give me your best 45 minutes, anything else you want to do, I'm going to be able to help you with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just give me your best. I'm giving you my best 45. I've been giving my students my best time. And that's probably a part of why my principal journey has been so prolonged.
Right.
Because I have been trying to give my best to, my students, the teachers that's around me, just the bigger, broader community that's around me. Because I want to give them my best. And it's hard I got to take away from me some days to give them the things that they're needing.
Yeah, so giving your best, and I have that image that it's usually kind of like a father that's like a puzzle piece, and puzzle pieces are missing, and it's like building its child, or the child's taking. Same exact thing kind of with like definitely teachers that have that passion that I just want them to do better. Right. Which requires a lot of energy on our part when you got 32 bodies possibly in a 45-minute span. Right. 7 periods.
You barely giving them a minute and a half each, like 45.
Right.
Think about the math of that.
Right.
45 minutes, 32 students.
Right.
Like, if I really wanted to give them some attention in that class, that's less than 2 minutes.
And that's not even adding the redirecting and the yes.
So,
right.
It's crazy, but I love them. And then I think about my kids' future, my grandkids' future. Like we're raising our future, so we have to. And it's not about $1. It's just simply about them contributing to life, because if they're not productive, that $1's not gonna mean nothing later on. Right. That we tried to get. So, it's just trying to make sure that they productive citizens and that they reach their goals. Because you never know who's sitting in your class. Yeah. You never know. This is the next LeBron, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. Like, we don't know who's in our class, and if you're not giving them their best, now they being resentful towards you and those type of things. And even I talk to some adults, and they just go back to their childhood and talk about some of their teachers, and it's not the good teachers that they talking about. It's the ones that she said I couldn't do it. She said I wasn't gonna be anything. Yeah. So I don't want to contribute to the negative. I just want to be a positive light for my kids.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. So now stepping out of the teacher role and in this wonderful journey of principalship, when did you know that was what you wanted to do, and when did you say, all right, activation mode, let's go?
Miss Gail. I don't know how much flack I'm gonna get for this, but I absolutely love her. She was a great leader. Having a leader like her is like, oh, okay, I have Coach Jerry, but I have a Gail too.
Yes. Shout out to Miss Gail. I'm gonna drop her first name since she ain't my principal no more. Jenny Gail. Yes. Oh man, that's funny because you mentioning that goes back to when she told everybody that she was leaving. Oh. Which was the day that I found out one of my friends had passed away randomly, and that was the last straw. I couldn't take it. I know you. That's when I floods of tears. I know. Like as soon as she did that, I was like, I'm gone, peace. Right. And I ran. But yeah, that was the last straw. I was trying to just stay composed. Like, I probably found out about an hour before.
Oh,
I don't think a lot of people know that.
I can only that's why I'm like, I'm hurt for you, and this has happened probably some years ago now, because her walking out, I took a video of her last walk in the building.
Really?
On the way out. That's how much.
Yeah. No.
We cared about her so much. I remember my first year as summer school principal, I went and bought all my teachers Sonic drinks.
Yeah.
But that gesture that she taught me.
Correct.
Like, all my summer school teachers that year end up coming back to work for me the next year. Mm-hmm. And now a lot of them are now part of the district. So I brought so many teachers in. Right. Mm-hmm. And only being summer school principal for 3 years, and everybody was able to, they was like, oh, I like her. Oh, I want to work for her. And I had people calling me like, can you work? Can I please go work? Please let me work. And to the point where I'm like, y'all, I got too many people. The district say we can't have this many people. I'm gonna have to send you home. I'm sorry. Yes, I want you to be there. I do. It's a bad feeling, but it's a rewarding feeling too, because at the time, this right after COVID, people couldn't even find teachers. Right. I'm like, I got so many teachers who want to come work.
I got a good problem here.
So,
what you want to do?
So it got to the point where they was like, well, I'll sub for you. Right. Just let me know. I was like, okay.
Let me do something. I just want to be a part of it.
I just want to be a part of it. And, a lot of them are doing well right now. And I'm just happy to be able to have this gift.
What I'd say. What I say about that teaching tree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I may not be a prophet, but I be knowing some stuff.
Right. So I'm just glad that, and I work with some very great people. Just opening up. I do a lot of talking. I know a lot of people say, oh, don't open up. Stay to yourself. Don't overly share. But it's something about me that I can't help it all the time. And I do overly share, and I do talk to a lot of people, but in essence, they talk back to me. Yeah. So it's like being a boss, being able to understand what people are going through. Talking to them, I remember one day I overslept. It was the day before a break too. I overslept. I was at home, and Mr. Kearns called me, and I woke up in a panic. I'm like, oh my gosh, what time is it? Right. And he was like, just calm down. It's okay. We got your class covered. I was just trying to make sure that you was okay.
Oh,
and it was that little gesture that I'm like, I'm not in trouble. Like, I'm like way late. Like, I'm not there. He was like, it's okay. Like, I know you show up to work. Right. So I know this is something unusual. And that compassion that he had for me, it just changed a lot of things. It made me feel so welcome at the school. Yes. My daughters had COVID before we knew COVID was COVID.
Gideon had it also.
That 1 year, and so I was one of the first people to miss 10 days. And my team, they just took my class and was like, oh, your kids are not going to stop learning. Mm-hmm. They split my class up. My kids kept learning. I came back. It was nothing missing. Nothing happened. Clockwork. Everything was just steady went on. And it was that Ms. Gail created. That system, that a family, that we bonded. And those people, we still all just very, very close. Like, I still talk to a lot of people. A lot of us left, but we still are a family. We still talk to each other. We still work together. If I need anything from any of those people, I know I can reach out to them. Yeah,
definitely. I actually was gonna, well, you know about this. I was gonna leave.
I know.
And Miss Gail, I was like, nah, she's staying. I'm working for you. I'm working for you as long as possible. And then she left. And then I actually kind of stayed. I kind of stayed for Kearns because I wanted, we had some.
He worked an hour. I mean, he lived an hour. I didn't know this until today. I don't like to drive, so.
Yes, I do live far from where we work. That's not at the traffic, and yes, we are in Houston.
Right.
But because of those relationships, I wanted to make sure that my people,
Right.
My people was good. Because I felt like I know that we were a family.
Right.
Right. And if I can have peace and family at my work, I want to be there.
Yes.
Until God says, hey, listen, you too comfortable. And here we are now, right?
Right.
But you know, it was what I hear, especially the Kearns story of you oversleeping, was once again that trust. He trusted you that you weren't taking advantage of anything, and it's totally out the norm. And I can guarantee you, his first thought was, "Oh no, what's wrong?"
Right.
Not, "Oh gosh, here we go. She's trying to blah blah blah. I gotta just not do this." I know he had concern, like genuine concern, like,
right.
I just want to call and make sure everything's okay. Oh, you overslept? Whew, thank you. All right, don't worry about it. We got it covered. Just come in whenever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then it was like, take your time.
Right.
I was like, no, I'll be there. I'm on my way. Like, I'm trying to hurry. Y'all couldn't, mind you, I have 2 girls. So I'm like, we all slept. So I've got to get them dressed, get me dressed, and I'm like rushing. He was like, no, take your time. I'm like, take my time. I can't take my time like I'm late. Yeah. I got somewhere to be. And if you know anything, I hate being late. I like to be on time, but you know, having kids now and
life be lifing.
And life be lifing, you know.
Kids be kidding.
Like, it's not the same like it used to be.
Right.
I used to be one of the first people at work. Now I'm rolling in like everybody else. But
right.
Yeah, it's been a blessing having to work for the people I've worked for. Especially in the past, I've worked for some people and I'm like, why are they so mean? Yeah. Why are they so unhappy?
Right.
What did I do to make this person feel, okay, well, what can I do to change? Because I'm all about evolving. So right. I'm like, if my boss is unhappy, what am I doing? What do I need to be doing differently to make them happy? But, you know, you can't make everybody happy either.
That's not your job to make
right.
people happy.
Right. Definitely not.
It's your job to do your job.
Yeah.
Right? And then what you add to that is a blessing to others. And if they don't accept that blessing, that's on them.
Right.
That's on you. Yeah, so Miss Jenny Gill, right, and you got Mr. Kearns as examples,
right,
of where you want to go. So she kind of put that bug in there. So I guess that's when this activation mode of this is the next step, this is the next thing. So with that being said, I know the journey's been stressful and unpeaceful at this time, but I know what's going to yield is joy comes in the morning, right? Joy comes in the morning. It may not be tomorrow morning. It may not be the next morning, but if you just continue to press on and persevere.
And trying to do it in orderly and do the right way. Because, I mean, I have had a few opportunities to leave.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, my kids. My kids about to take star. I know I gotta make sure they pass. I'm leaving out with a good record.
Right.
No, it's been about my students. It's truly been about my students. Sometimes too much about my students, because sometimes I feel I give my students more than I give my own kids.
Right.
And I'm like, I just want the same thing happening for my kids. Or for my kids that have a teacher like me.
Yes.
And I do understand everybody is not like me, but I'm like, I'm over here giving 110%. Well, just at least give 100%, you know? Right. You know, because I have 2 bright girls. They're very intelligent, very smart, can learn anything that you teach them. But, you know, you got to have that passion. You got to have the desire. You know, my girls go to the STEM school, so culturally...
It's a little
different. But I put them there on purpose because I want them to learn from other cultures. I want them to be a part of something bigger than what I had, you know, being around different types of people, different backgrounds of people, just learning how those people are. So, for example, my daughters right now are in Mandarin class, and they love Mandarin. I didn't even think they was gonna like Mandarin. Like they was like Spanish or Mandarin. I was like, I'm gonna go with Mandarin. Somebody was like, why are you teaching your daughters Mandarin? Because everybody learns Spanish. So why not? It's just and they love it. So they come home, try to speak it to me. And again, remember, I'm country and loud. And they just be cracking up because I'm trying to pronounce the words and
yes,
it's just not happening, like it should. But it's my journey.
Yeah,
it's all a part of my journey.
It's been wonderful to definitely see and be a part of, because I'm one of those summer school teachers and one of those teachers that have been under your leadership in the way that relationships, right? I think the reason that this next level is going to be successful for you is because you have relationships not only with students but with teachers,
right?
And not those below and those above, but you just have relationship with people because you are a genuinely kind, I want the best for everybody.
Right.
I'm going to work hard to get the best from everybody
right.
person. And that's the type of leader that you want, right?
Definitely.
A leader that sees, that has the relationship with you because you've been vulnerable, because you opened yourself out.
Yeah.
Which also means you've opened yourself out. Someone could try to take advantage of that.
Right,
and that's the risk of it. But then
Definitely.
What I've noticed is the back end of it. I'll take that risk for the reward, because the reward is relationship.
Right.
The reward is being able to talk about my family. The
right.
reward is being like, listen, I'm having one of those days. I just need a movie game. Right?
Help me help you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I'm human. We all are human, and that's one thing I'm glad that I understand, that it takes a bunch of people to make the world go round. And that's one thing I tell my kids all the time, especially my bad kids. I'm like, look, you got two options. Mm-hmm. You're gonna continue to do what you do, and life is gonna be hard, but you're gonna learn some lessons, and you'll learn from it. Or you're just gonna allow us to tell you what type of life you could have, and you decide to change that now and do what you're supposed to do so that you can live the life that you want to live. Some of my smartest kids are my difficult students Correct. To deal with. And I'm like, you are so bright. You are so bright. Mm-hmm. If you just follow, like, why do you make life hard for yourself? But again, that's the path that God is putting them on. Not right. to say that they have to act bad or anything, but they need those experiences for whatever He's trying to teach them.
Right.
So, like, we all go through experiences in life, and we be like, why am I going through that? Because you need that experience for whatever's coming.
Right.
And you don't know what's coming
until it's there.
So, like, I'm like, Lord, why did you allow me to go through mm-hmm. these things? And I'm like, because I needed to know all sorts of type of people. Like, when I say I talk to everybody, I talk to absolutely everybody. Yeah. I have a friend that has a disability, and I learned so much from her, and just watching her go through her mm-hmm. disability. And I know she's a lot different from other people. It's not a normal relationship, right. But I learned from her.
Yes.
She don't even know I learned from her, but I do. And just going to a millionaire, just learning mm-hmm. what they do and how they carry themselves, or going to somebody that, I don't want to say do drugs, but just
someone that does drugs.
Building relationships with those type of people and understanding their struggle and why they went through those things, right. and just trying to understand them as a person and as people. And I put all that into my repertoire, mm-hmm. and then I be like, because I can't treat no certain person different. Being a boss, you still gotta be able to help. Like, I don't want to be a boss where somebody is really struggling with substance abuse and I'm like, you fired.
Right.
Like, what do you need help with to help you get through this? Because I hired you for a reason. Right. That means I saw purpose in you. Right. So what is it that we need to do to help you get through this? Because a lot of people just judge, and they just judge. And I'm like, look, I've been through a lot. Yeah. I can't judge nobody.
Neither can I.
So, I don't like people judging me.
Right.
So that if I am standoffish from a person, that's because I feel like I'm being judged.
Yeah.
And I don't want nobody to have to go through that. Like, you don't know what a person has gone through that even got them to that point. Our homeless people on the street, some of them are doctors and lawyers and have degrees. And, you know, they just don't have no family. What if all their family died and they went through a financial crisis and now they just don't have nobody. They don't have anything. And that's how they got into the situation that they're in. It's like, dang, was that their fault? Like, what can we do to help that person? So, I care about people. Jerry uses all the time, you know, people don't leave jobs, people leave people.
Right.
It's the relationships, you know, and I think about jobs that I have, the reason why I left is the relationships, because like you said, we was happy with Miss Gail, we was happy with Mr. Kearns, that made us want to be at work. It made you drive an hour to work, because me, look, let me tell you. It would have just took them for me to do that. Yeah. But besides that, I'd be like, nah, I can't. That's why I haven't left the place I'm at now, because the relationships I've built, and I'm like, no, I can't leave. No, I love working with these people. Like, this is my family.
Yeah.
So, but I do understand now that I have to grow.
Right. And
part of my growth is trying to take a step out on faith.
Yes, that step of faith. So we in the same journey. We in the same boat. The storm is storming, but Jesus is right there asleep. I'm trying to be asleep and let the storm walk me to sleep in peace, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think no matter what you touch is gonna be gold. You got the Midas touch. Mm-hmm. You know, and whatever endeavor entrepreneurially, which we also have something very in common, but we can say that for another time. And once again, we also have a very common link in having in-laws that are hard of hearing and deaf. So I think I talked to the wife, and I'm gonna holler at you and see you and the hub can come on and we can kind of talk about that experience. I think that's something that's important.
Very different experience.
Yeah, especially since next month is Deaf Awareness Month.
Yes. Very different experience. Yes. People don't people have no idea.
So we have that common aspect, but that's a beautiful thing in life. And once again, like you talked about your friend with a disability, it's like understanding and paying attention to people's journey. You learn so much about them, but you learn so much about yourself.
Right.
And you're able to use that information. What I heard was you gather all those things of this person here and learning this experience, and now being a boss, I can funnel these experiences that I had through somebody else to help other people. And I think that's the beautiful thing, because a lot of times we funnel that information to possibly take advantage of somebody.
Right.
But someone with a good heart and that's kind and that wants people to just be their best because they're their best would use that for a good advantage and help, right?
I use people's experiences with the kids. I'm like, look, I had a friend, I tell them all the time, I had a friend that played football and they wasn't doing what they supposed to do, and they was really good. Like y'all, like the boys be saying, but I'm really good. They was really good.
Right, yeah.
The scouts was calling and everything, but not taking care of their business. They really not in the NFL right now too, you know. And I know that was a dream,
right? But
you got to take care of your business.
Yep, you got to. And another thing, a common thing that I keep hearing, and that's it. I literally told this to my son the other day. Was like, I'm giving you this advice. You can take it or not, but at least someone told you.
Right.
You can never say, well, no one ever told me. I used to tell this to my students when I used to teach Bible. I'm letting you know from my own experience, this is usually what happens when you do these things.
Right.
But you a grown person, or you're your own person. Definitely. You make your own decisions. But at the end of the day, you can say, dang it, when I'm right here when Mr. Randolph told me I was possibly going to be, at least someone told me.
Right.
I made that choice. I made that decision. And so And also the other common thing, life is one of the best teachers. It gives you the test first and the lesson afterwards, right?
Right.
Whew.
Ain't it backwards for us to be teachers with?
Right. Now my dad says actually listening to other people's life is better because you don't have to go through those experiences.
Yeah.
Sometimes I agree with that. Sometimes like the experience really, really does mold you.
What's a smart person learn from other people's actions? An average person learn from their own, but a fool never learn.
I've never heard that one.
You never heard that one?
Shit,
a smart person learn from watching somebody else. Right. The average person learn from their own experiences, but the fool they never learn. Yeah, that was what.
They never learn. And never argue with a fool, because someone walking by can't tell the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great. So, with all this wonderful wisdom you've been dropping on us, at the end of the day, what would be your message of the moment?
My message? Just be you. Like me. Look, be the difference maker.
Okay.
That's all I'm trying to be. I just want to be a difference maker. That's my goal in this life. I just want to reach as many people as I can, giving them positivity, helping them get through whatever it is that they're going through. Almost like a consultant.
Yeah.
I want to be able to just talk to people about their business plans and like, okay, well, did you think about this? Did you think about that? I've always told myself what God has for me, I know is unique. It's not something that's already created. It's something unique. It's just for me because I feel I'm different than most people, or at least I feel different than most people. I think differently than most people. My life is definitely different than most people. It's not normal at all. Nothing about my life has been normal.
Yeah.
Because I be like, why am I always going through something? Like, it's always a story that I can tell. I can give you a story every day of the week, almost.
Right.
And even growing up as a child, I was a part of this camp. At a point in time, I want to say her name was Tony Harris, the mother from The Heat of the Night. And it was called Camp 3T. It was a beautiful camp, beautiful experience. Like, it was us as children catching the Holy Ghost and singing, and it was like I want to say it was an African like stage play that we did. It was a theater camp, and that one night I just couldn't stop crying after we got out of the camp or whatever, and they ended up calling my dad. I was at my dad's at the time. They ended up calling my dad. We was at Alabama State University, and he came, and she was just talking to me, and she was like, You gonna write a book about yourself one day. And I'm like, this has been playing in my mind. Now I'm close to 40, y'all. So I'm like, this been playing in my mind since she told me this as a little girl. And I'm like, yeah, I want to write a book about my life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, it's just, I'm gonna have to relive so many memories that I don't want to relive. Because, when I say I'm not normal, growing up depressed and sad and have no reason to be depressed, have no reason to be sad, but was very depressed and sad and just hard on myself and not understanding, and Lord, why me, and what do I need to do, and why you chose this life for me? Like, Lord, you could have put me in anybody's body. Yep. You could have gave me any parent. Like, why I couldn't be Michael Jackson's daughter? Or, anybody. I don't know why I said him, but just any famous person. I could have been anybody. Or then I'd be like, but why did you make her that person's child? Or, I just have a lot of thoughts. Not saying that I question the Lord or anything like that, but I just think creatively. I just really want to know the answers to some things.
Everything.
Yeah. Not to question the Lord, but just because I'm just curious.
Right.
Just want to know, where am I going, Lord? I know you don't want to tell us because we probably have stopped the journey. But Lord, I promise I'm going to keep on going because I've always just kept on going.
Every day I wake up, I'm like, all right, what we doing?
Yep, what we doing today?
Like before every podcast or whatever, I'll be like, all right, Lord, what we doing? What we doing? What, I pray for the messengers coming in. I pray for that I don't fumble my words.
Right.
And I just pray for peace in the conversation, right? And so that that the message gets out to the world, because that's what we're trying to do, right? We're just trying to change the world one message at a time. So, man, this has been wonderful. We definitely gonna have a part 2.
Definitely. Look, keep sending the messages out. I've been watching you for so long on social media when you posted the fathers. That was so beautiful, and just I've sometimes, I know we don't even talk about it, but just watching some of your little podcasts that come out. I know we had talked about one time. Mm-hmm. This was like some years ago,
right?
But just sitting there and listening back to it and just changing the mindset. When I think of you, I think about changing the mindset, because our other venture. But right. it's just about changing the mindset. What are you gonna do differently today than you did the day before?
Like you said, be the difference.
Yeah, right? Be the difference.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all for joining us once again. This is the Just the Messenger podcast, where we're just trying to spread the message of love, hope, joy, and peace, and trying to change the world one message at a time. And remember, be the difference maker.
Be the difference.
You're loved, you're cared for. Be different, be the difference maker. So, with that being said, until next time, Selah.